What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Paintball Lounge. Um, we're just waiting for Scott to get here, and yes, we have Scott Stewart from PB Fit coming on the show. So we're just waiting for Scott to come in, but I just want to take time to say Happy Memorial Day and thank you to all the men and the women who has risked their lives to protect our country. Um, but yeah, we're just waiting for Scott to get here, and then we're gonna get the show on the road. Turn my phone on. Take a break. See, and my computer's starting acting up again, as usual. Just love doing that. Hopefully, I got everything. Mhm. Let me see if you got the link. But yeah, like I said, um, just waiting for him to come here, and it's gonna be a fun show. I mean, we're running a few late minutes late, but that's okay. Well, we're waiting for Scott to get here. Let's just talk about my latest video. I was speedball for the first time in about couple years. Well, no, a couple months, sorry. And I had loads of fun, you know. And then I was just hoping then. Hmm. And there he is, the man of the hour. What's up, Scott?
Hey, sorry I'm a few minutes late.
It's all good. It's all good. Welcome to the show. So,
Thanks,
and
man. Thanks for having me on.
yeah, and congratulations for what, three times in a row of winning NXL.
Yes, indeed.
Congratulations.
Three in a row.
Three.
Thank you.
Ain't no problem. So that's a major accomplishment. I mean, after World Cup, and then I mean, y'all have been like killing it.
Yeah, it's just about staying focused, man. Just trying to continue to do what got us to that cup victory,
Hmm.
continuing to repeat that process, so to speak, to make it repeatable.
Yeah, keep on grinding. You want to keep on grinding for, see if you can be like winning every single event this year. Be like an unstoppable force.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. We're on track so far. Got to keep it up.
There you go. So what got you started into paintball? Like, what is like the start of the journey?
Yeah, so my dad actually took me paintballing when I was a young kid. I think I was like 12 or 13 or so. And he took us out to a woods ball field and we just played with rental guns, Tipmans, shake and shoot hoppers, and just were having fun out in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely started to gravitate towards where you could see people more. So I went towards like the areas of the field, of the woods field, that you actually were not in the trees, but you were out in kind of an open space with the wood bunkers between each other. I
Right.
definitely loved being able to actually see what I was going for and not just like trying to hide in the trees and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that whole day was a crazy experience. Definitely hooked me and my stepbrother that I went with right away at the time. We were in love with it. We asked for stuff for Christmas, and we got like the whole beginner setup for Christmas. A nice little mask and cheap gun and hopper and tank and everything. So right after that, we were playing woods ball all the time, or as often as we could. It was probably about once a month back then,
Oh
uh,
wow.
and it just kind of grew from there.
And you're from Texas, right?
I'm actually originally from California, so I grew up
Oh.
in California, and that's where we originally got into it.
Oh, so you were a beach boy and and now you live in Texas, or do you still live in California?
No, I live in Texas now. So I was started in California.
Mm-hmm.
I even played speedball in like 2015. That's kind of when I started my competitive journey. I
Mm-hmm.
just graduated college or was getting ready to graduate college and kind of picked it back up again. Went to a clinic up there in Northern California with Thomas Taylor, and that kind of hooked me into the competitive side of things. And
Right.
from there, just been playing every weekend pretty much since then. In 2016, beginning of 2016, I moved to Colorado for a few years. So I was
Mm-hmm.
there until 2021, and that's when I moved to Texas in order to play paintball with the people there. And yeah, been here since.
So, dang. So you've been everywhere, and
Yeah, definitely.
so what has to be like? I bet you the transition from going from California, then like you said, you went up north, and then now you're down in the south. I bet you the whole degree of weather just like is the shift. Like it's like
Yes,
oh.
yes. The weather was the biggest change between all of them for sure. California was nice weather most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Rained a lot in the winters or even in the spring seasons where I was at. Lots of water would be there, so lots of rain, but nothing too terrible.
Right.
Never super super hot. Maybe 100 degrees every once in a while. Sometimes it would get cold into the 60s or 50s, but never like super cold or never super hot. Then you go to
Right.
Colorado, you get in these snow years or like whole months of snow where you can't play at all, like the fields won't even open because it gets so cold that
Mm-hmm.
if you were to shoot the bunkers it's going to actually cut the bunker and make holes in it, and then the bunkers won't be any good. So
Right.
fields in Colorado, they'd have like a winter set that was like their old bunkers that they'd let you use every once in a while if it got over like 35 degrees or something, and then they'd have their regular set that they had in like the summer and the regular months where they could use it all the time.
Hmm.
So that was definitely a huge shift. And then here in Texas, none of the cold weather anymore, but the heat is insane.
Yeah.
So it's just about to get started there to getting really hot this year. Hasn't quite been there. It's been getting in the upper 90s the last couple weekends, but nothing too terrible for Texas yet. And I know real soon it's going to get insane.
Oh, it's definitely going insane from what I've heard from like people playing the minor leagues like UXBL and stuff like that,
Hmm.
that they have cleats melting off the bottom. I'm like, is that bad? And they always told me, yes, it is horrible. I'm like,
Yes.
okay, good point taken. There, don't go there during the summertime. Go there during the wintertime.
Yes, most definitely.
But so so now you're on PB Fit and you're the one of the top dogs. Like I've seen you play. I was watching Atlantic City and also I was watching Tampa. Like how do you do it? Like this your skills, like your 1v1s, you're like I don't know how to explain it. Like you going on those 1v1s at Atlantic City for the final match was amazing. Like what's the secret?
I mean, I think it just comes down to a lot of hard work. I
Mm-hmm.
definitely drilled the fundamentals a lot in my career, especially my early time in paintball at the time I was in Colorado, where it was
Mm-hmm.
hard to get out to fields and really play. I'd go to the indoor fields they had there, which were smaller, but great
Mm-hmm.
for running drills. And so I just dialed in the fundamentals like crazy at that point in my career. I couldn't play with high level teams all the time
Right.
because I just only had so many people around me right in that area. And so instead of being able to do that, I just used all that time to just drill. I made my snapshot seem second nature. I made the running and gunning feel second nature. hip sliding while with the gun up, all that kind of stuff. I tried to pick on small details each off season that I was over there, or even just each week when I was doing my drills. I'd pick on something. I'd be like, okay, like I'm good at running and gunning, but it could be better. So let's just focus on this one part of running and gunning, like to my left going backwards or to my left going a little bit forwards. Because, you know, when you're playing on a field, it's not often that the bunker is directly to the left of you or directly to the right of you, right? It's a
Right.
little bit back or a little bit forward. So I just try and work on all those little details within the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then that just builds confidence in myself and what I can do, you know, and then it's just believing in yourself and knowing that no matter what happens, everything's going to work out and you're going to be able to come out on top. Uh, and I get that from all the teammates too, right? Paintball Fit's great for that. Great
Okay.
mindset amongst everybody on the team.
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, I mean, y'all have a goal. Y'all want to be the best team, and you know what? I like y'all's drive. I've seen the reviews. I've seen reviews that I think it's Colt. I think that's his name, the one that was injured.
Yep.
I've heard that he. Excuse my French. He's an asshole, but he's that asshole that drives y'all to be better.
Certainly, he can come off like that, especially from the outside looking in. It's easy to say that he's just an asshole. But we're all driven in the same way that Colt's driven, right? Like he
Right.
vocalizes it and has a really good way of um, identifying problems and being able to really pick out what the issue is in the middle of
Mm-hmm.
a point or even right after the point. You know, so even though all of us are upset or also very passionate, we don't maybe have all the info to like really tell the person next to us like what they should have done. We're like, well, I feel like you maybe should have done this. But Colt has such a good awareness of the whole situation, even when
Mm-hmm.
he's playing, that it can really seem like an asshole. But really, it's just passion. We all want to be good. We all know what the goal is. We all have the same goal. So when he's
Mm-hmm.
hard on you, it's just he's trying to pick on, like I was saying, those little details that are
Right.
preventing you from being even better at whatever you're doing. Because we all know we're good players, but even when you're playing a team that's not as good as you, there's lots of little things you can work on. Yeah, you won the game, but you didn't win it the right way, right? You didn't use your teammates. Cool, you won 5 gunfights. Are you going to be able to do that every point in pro? Probably not. You know, there's good gunfighters out there. So about learning
Oh
how to
yeah.
play the right way, and he's going to hold us accountable to make sure we're doing it that way.
Oh, I can name one person who is from my state, from my area, who is a really gunfighter that I would like to see you go against,
Yeah,
and that's Justin Harach, like the guy who won, or a kid, 18 years old, won the Horn East, 15 grand, and
yeah.
1v1s, and I'm like, wonder if those two will go at it.
Yeah, that those would be fun. I'd love to see more of those battles. We have played the Hurricanes in Tampa, but obviously a 5-on-5 game is way different than 1-on-1. So
Mm-hmm.
it'd be fun to play him. I've seen him coming up and kind of working his way through. So best of luck to Justin for sure.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, but so another thing is this: how hard was it at AC, like the field and everything? Because I've heard that AC was not, you know, great this year.
Yeah. The field conditions in Atlantic City were a little bit crazy. I remember when we first got there the first day, there was like big rocks in areas. We were practicing Thursday before the event, and we're on one of the divisional fields. And one of the guys we were practicing with dug up a legitimate like brick out of the ground. Like he
Oh
found like a
shit!
brick in the ground. He like dug it up and pulled it out and was like, "What the hell's going on?" So yeah, I mean, the field conditions weren't perfect. There was lots of sand. It seemed like it had just recently been underwater. You know, that field that you're at is completely surrounded by water,
Shit.
and it seemed like it had recently like been flooded or something. There was
Mm-hmm.
seashells, sand, all kinds of craziness on the field.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, luckily it played okay. The weather held out while we were out there, so that wasn't too terrible. But yeah, I mean, it was hard to dive and slide, and all that sand makes it tough. You don't actually move when you slide like you would on a regular field of grass or even turf like we play out at Fit.
Right.
So yeah, that hard ground and even the sand. They do the same thing every year in Florida. It's often like there's a lot of sand around. Just makes it hard to get a lot of movement on those slides and dives and stuff.
And especially since it rained, it was starting to rain on the last point of the event,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I
On
know that
Sunday it
probably
was raining.
was. I bet you that was probably like a pain in the ass because
Yeah,
I.
definitely. The one good thing that venue has going for it is it's got a lot of concrete. So unlike
Mhm.
some venues where like as you're trying to just walk through like even the booths and everything, you're just getting super muddy. So by the
Mhm.
time you get to your field, you're already just completely drenched in mud and nastiness. Luckily, that wasn't happening. Right, there's lots of concrete or blacktop out there. So you were able to just kind of walk around and stuff. That was nice. The sand made it not as muddy as most events would get, but yeah, the weather was definitely a factor for sure.
Right. And you think do you think that they should go back to Philadelphia for next year? Would that be a little bit better?
I mean, that field that we had was supposed to be a long-term thing, right? It was dirt that very first season we went out to Philadelphia. It was just a big dust bowl, and then they
Mm,
finally started to grow some grass out there. So I thought we were going to do that for a while.
mm,
I think it'd be nicer to go to Philly mostly for all the fans, right? I know in Atlantic City they keep it dry. So I
mm.
know all the fans love to be drinking and getting all messed up while they're watching. Even the people in the booths like to drink and have a good time. So as a player, I wouldn't be drinking during the event
Oh
anyway, so it
no.
doesn't really matter. But for everybody else, I know that makes it better and makes it that much more draw for spectators to try and come in, right? If they can drink and have a good time.
Right.
So I think because of that and the playing surface, I think it'd be nice to go back to Philly for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just I think the reason why they haven't gone back to Philly is because of, like you said, the land, or I think the what they were renting at
Yeah,
during the time. I mean, some people just like are complete assholes and say, "Hey, you cannot come back." Like
yeah,
Vegas, they literally said to all of us that, "Hey, cannot host a paintball event in Vegas anymore because it was just too much." And I'm like,
yeah. It was too
"Well,
big. We used to hold it there all the time. Then they started to like remodel that park, and yeah, it got too big for them. They weren't
yeah."
letting me.
I'm like, "Seriously, we're
Yeah,
not that
well, we're
big." I
not going to get
mean,
smaller, so I guess we're going to have to go somewhere else.
yeah, and it's a bummer because Vegas was pretty good. I've heard.
Yeah, that's an awesome venue. Everyone loves to go out there too, right? Like that's what you want. You want to build excitement for people to want to go.
Right.
That way you can get the biggest show up as possible. So that's why I loved Vegas, right? It just gets so many more people that just want to show up. They're like, well, it's Vegas. Like even if we suck, I'll be happy. So like I love to go to those venues just to get more people interested in paintball and just to actually show up.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And so now the next event is Chicago. I think it's Chicago,
Uh, Ohio, Ohio. We're
Ohio.
going to Cincinnati this year. No Chicago this year. We're going to
Yeah,
Cincinnati, Ohio.
I'm so used to the whole schedule is messed up because I know
Yep.
that us Southern boys are like hurricane season is upon us, and I know that they didn't want that mud fest during Dallas in summertime. And I'm like, well, the mud is actually refreshing if you live in the South. It's actually refreshing. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, the strategy that y'all have, I think y'all can have. I think y'all doing pretty damn well. I think they need to give y'all more of a challenge. I'm just gonna be real. Like y'all just had to eat. Like either it was just too easy. Like there's no challenge for y'all. I'm like, y'all making these guys win three in a row. Come on, give them a challenge. Give them a challenge. I like seeing that. I like seeing challenges.
Yes, yes, indeed. Well, we made it interesting against Tauntauns for everybody, so that was definitely challenging. More challenging than I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like it should have been. We were in good spots to win in regulation, good spots to win in the first overtime. We should have closed those ones out.
right.
Tough to see that, right? We're definitely still harping on each other about those points, but we're definitely glad we came out on top, right, and able to keep this thing going.
Good. So, other than being a one the one of the PB Fed's top player, what do you do for a living? Like, do you like
Yeah.
how do you income like bring the income to your paintball life?
Yeah, so I do a technical customer service role, so I get to work remote from home,
Oh,
and I
there you
basically
go.
help customers with an app that our company has. Often I'm doing internal people, which is great, right? Not having to worry about saying everything perfectly. I don't have to, oh, I didn't word that right. Like now the customer's going to get upset. It's like, okay, no, that's our own employee, so he's just going to say something back to me. I'll get to be like, oh, let me go check with my boss now, like, and then and fix the information before he gets it to the actual employee or the actual customer, I should say.
Right.
But yeah, I do that. That works really nicely. I've always been kind of into tech. I have a minor in computer science and a major in computer engineering from
There
college.
you go.
Um, I wanted to do coding, but didn't end up getting into that. The technical customer service role kind of fit me great.
Hmm.
I'm great at explaining things to people that's technical in a simple way to kind of help them understand it. So I've
Hmm.
just kind of been able to fall right into that, and it's been really good for me.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, maybe you would get a job with playing clips. They always would love to have a technical person.
Right? Heck yeah.
I mean, shoot, that would be a great job. And
Yes.
maybe you could design your own gun.
Now that sounds like a good time.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I would love to see that. Be like a PB Fit exclusive gun.
Heck yeah.
So like you all so do you play like often like every Sunday and Saturday or do you play like every once in a while?
We play every week. We definitely play every week. We try and get a couple days during the week as well, but
Mm-hmm.
every weekend certainly. Saturday, Sunday, pretty much required. We get out there as a group. Sometimes it's all of us. Sometimes a few guys have stuff going on and they can't make it. Like this weekend, Chavez is out at the MXL, right? So he
Mm-hmm.
couldn't be there with us. But everybody else is able to make it out, and we're able to get some good practices in, either against ourselves or at other local teams in the area, divisional teams, stuff like that, and just make sure we continue, like I was saying earlier, work on the all the details of the game,
Right.
right? We know how to play the game in general, so just kind of fine tuning things.
All right. All right. So now the idea I want to ask is this like what is it that's making you keep on grind? Like keep on like, hey, I want to keep on doing this. Like, you're a strapping young man. Like you could be doing a lot of things with an IT, brain of yours.
Yep.
Like what makes you keep on grinding and keep on going in the sports of paintball?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm just super competitive. No matter what I do, I'm a competitive person. I've always been that way since I was a young kid. Played a
Mm-hmm.
lot of sports growing up, and I felt like after high school, I quit playing organized sports, right? And
Mm-hmm.
in college, I was working as a referee for flag football, actually, and kind of just realized like I need sports. Like I love sports so much. To not have any sports in my life was killing me. So I started playing like little bits of sports here and there through college, and refound paintball and was like, dude, this is way better than any of the other sports. You get the camaraderie with the people, right? You also still get the adrenaline rush, you get the competitiveness out, all of that kind of bundled into one. And then from there, it's just a desire to kind of reach my full potential, right? Like I know I'm
Right.
good at certain things, but there's always room to get even better at stuff. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of what drives me at this point is just knowing I can be even better, knowing that as a group we can be better, knowing there's more to achieve and there's more to do, and wanting to kind of prove everybody wrong, right? And whether that's someone saying that we're just a fluke or someone just thinking like, oh, their time's going to run out eventually. We don't want to be a team that came in and was hot for a few moments or won one event. Lots of teams have won a single event, right? Now we're in a group of very small group of people or teams that have won 3 events in a row, that have won 3 events ever in the current MXL. So that stuff is already super cool, and we just want to continue to show that we're here to stay and that we're a force to be reckoned with.
Right.
It's not a fluke. It's not a flash in the pan. It's something we're here to like change the game. We're here to really shake things up and kind of we feel like paintball's been the same way for a long time. A lot of the same faces have kind of been dominant, and we want to
Mm-hmm.
change that whole perspective up. And I feel like it's already happening a lot in paintball in general. We're part of that, but there's also lots of other teams like the Tauntauns that haven't been an American team that have been doing really well, and they're coming out and doing that. Um, Royal City Sea Dogs have been playing well as a brand new rookie team that bought a spot. So all these teams are really starting to shake things up and make these old pro teams kind of rethink how they're doing this and kind of restructuring the way the league's working, which is exciting.
I agree 100%. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There are some teams that I'm like, oh, they could have done a little bit better. And I'm looking at leverage. Oof,
Right.
oof, just
It's
oof.
been tough for leverage so far. They've had like a lot of changes, it seems like, as well. Like I'm not super familiar with all those guys, but obviously we grabbed one of their players from semi pro
Mm-hmm.
and brought him on to Paintball FIT at the beginning of this year. So that's a change for them. I know they've had lots of injuries at the start of this season. One of their
Yeah,
guys doesn't show up for the first day because he's been working on becoming a fireman, I believe, doing the fire academy and stuff. So I know they've had a lot of moving parts. I hope that they can start to put it together and really kind of step up and hopefully not get relegated this year. As a rookie team, it's hard. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of different moving parts. So I hope to
and
see those guys around for a couple more years at the very
oh,
least.
oh yeah, without a doubt, it would suck if they go back to relegating back to semi pro after they just came out of it.
Right.
That would suck. That will be like, oh, sour taste in the mouth.
Yes,
But
yes. And then you don't want to see those guys start to disband and join other pro teams. You want to see them, stay together and come back up, right? Kind of what Fit did.
oh yeah,
But
without a
that's
doubt.
kind of when that happens. As you go back down, people are like, forget that. I'm not going back to semi pro. I want to play pro. And then they go get picked up on another team and they can earn those spins again. So hopefully we get those guys to stay together. start improving this season and
Mhm.
don't get relegated at all. That's my
Oh
hope for
yeah,
them.
without a doubt. I mean, and I see the idea that you were saying about changing the way the game is for the pro division, like seeing new faces winning, and I agree 100%. Like it's become very I'm I'm not trying to sound like a dick, but it's become very stale
Right.
for the past couple of years because you got all the same old faces. Russian Legion wins or um, Dynasty and all these juggernaut teams, and I'm like, I'm tired of seeing that. I want to see something new. I want to see something like a South team or like somewhere that is a rookie winning these
Right.
events, and I got my wish.
Yeah.
Like because I'm not gonna lie, watching y'all at World Cup, it was I knew it was gonna be loud because hey, the like American team facing like it was the Impact, right? Y'all were
Yep.
facing
Yep.
Impact. Yeah, it was American team versus Canada, and it was just me watching y'all World Cup. I knew it was gonna be loud, but I did not know it was gonna be that loud.
Yeah, that was crazy. The crowd out there at Cup is insane. That was amazing.
Like, was that like what do you think it will be your biggest moments? Like, is it winning World Cup and how the crowd was, or was it like winning three events? Like, what's the biggest moment that felt to you that we got something good going on? Let's keep on going. Like, what is it?
Uh, I mean, I felt like we had that at the end of the first semi-pro year, truly. And at the end of 2022, we kind of all came back together and were like, we should have dominated this semi-pro year. And so
Mm-hmm.
since then, we've been more focused and more honed in and dialed in on what we need to do. And since then, it's kind of felt like we're on an upward trajectory and we're going to do whatever we want to do and we're going to be able to take control. But as far as a single biggest moment since we made it into pro, I would definitely say that the World Cup win was bigger than anything. Just the crowd may added so much to that. It being our first win in pro is a big deal. The way we had to come back against Impact in the finals, 2 30-second points just to send it into OT. All of that is just so crazy. I remember just being so exhausted after that match too. Like I just wanted to go lay down and nap. Like excited, of course, right? All the kinds of adrenaline running through me. But I mean, we just sprinted down the field 2 straight points, and then I broke my barrel to start the next one. I'm crawling through the snake with no barrel, basically. So that was just such a crazy one. But
Mm-hmm.
it felt great. So that I would say that's probably been the peak. But I know in the future there's going to be bigger ones. Like once we go through and win 5 events in a single season this year, that's going to be a big moment for us for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's just going to continue to be big moments as we move forward.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And I hope that I would love to see that would be a really nice story to unravel if like hey PB Fit won 5 events in a row, being a two-time World Cup winners, but winning all the other events in a row. That is something that's never been done. I don't think no one has actually done
Not
that.
in pro, not that I'm aware of. I've never seen that before. I know Dynasty had a lot of dominance early in their careers, a lot of dominance late recently, but I don't think anyone's won 5 in a row in a single season. I
I
don't
don't
think
think so.
anyone's won 3 in a row in a single season. So like even us, we won the one last year and two this year. I think a couple teams have done it that same way, where it was either two at the end of a year and one to start, or
Yeah,
one to end a year and two to start the next.
yeah,
But yeah,
and
super exciting.
it's just mind blowing. It really is. I'm still getting goosebumps even talking about it because of the fact that it's just history's making. Now, do you think that ESPN will probably get back paintball back on the Ochos and hopefully we'll see some PB Fit on there?
Yeah, so apparently for Atlantic City, they had ESPN out there again, and they're going to be doing another little video about the finals.
Hmm.
We even did some interviews after the event to talk about kind of what happened and how it went. So yeah, I have a feeling that's coming pretty soon. I haven't heard any words on when it's going to happen or what the dates are or anything like that, but definitely
T-
looking forward to that. ESPN
tell
will
me you
definitely
didn't
have
have to
paintball
wear.
again.
Tell me you didn't have to wear that GoPro on the mask.
No, no, no GoPros on the mask. They did ask us to do that at Cup. I'm pretty sure
Oh,
it was
thank,
Cup. Or no, it was Tampa.
thank
I
God.
apologize. In Tampa, they tried to get us to wear GoPros again. But the way our hoppers sit and the way the GoPro is sitting, it was trying to put it like kind of right in front of our lens here.
Mm-hmm.
And the way our hoppers are, the control hoppers sit back a little bit further. Our
Mm-hmm.
hoppers were literally smacking the GoPro when we were like just testing it out between games, and we're like, hey, these aren't going to work. So they canceled that. But yeah, no GoPros, no extra GoPros. It's
That,
going to be
that
all the
that no,
regular
that's a
cameras
good
you
thing.
get.
That's actually a good thing because like the thing about the GoPros, and I used to use a GoPro, but
Mhm.
now I use a DJI. It's probably charging. It's a DJI Action 2 camera, and I could put any kind of hopper on there, and it doesn't knock it or anything like that. It just stays one because it's magnetic. And I was just thank God like they didn't do any GoPros because it was just bad. I know
Yeah,
it was the first time they were doing it with Chicago Aftershock and Russian
the
Legion.
Russians.
I just it was bad. It was just
Yeah.
it
It's
was just
hard to
bad.
see because the hopper's in everybody's view, right? So it's like you're only really looking at the back of someone's hopper. It's a tough view. We usually do it on the barrel for like our Fit Life videos and stuff like that. And I think it's good if you edit them into the footage, but I think the
Mm-hmm.
main footage should still be outside of the player. I don't think
Oh yeah.
watching most of the game from the player's point of view makes a lot of sense. It's hard to put together what's really happening.
Now, do you just play NXL or do you play other events? Because I know that PB Fit has a lot of events going around in that stadium or place.
Yeah. So we do have a couple events that we get to play in here at Paintball Fit. The
Hmm.
Super Sevens is a fun one where it's kind of just a throw together line of 7 players. You're playing
Hmm.
7 man and you get to play, I don't know, something like 8 to 10 games, and then you're kind of playing the playoffs. So that involves players of all rank. And so PB Fit gets to play in those. We'll usually have one guy on each team. And then a couple other pros will come out from Diesel or just local guys that are in the area. Sean Saucedo will often come out from Arsenal. He'll come out and play as well. So that's a fun one. Is the Super Sevens, Glow Mech or Mech X Ball. We get to play in those too if there's not too many people already signed up. And if there are fully filled up teams, then we'll get to coach those teams instead of actually playing. But that's still fun. And then we get a Champions League event out here, which is basically a D4 event that they like change some rules and basically allow you to either add a pro or a semi-pro or a couple like D3 guys or a couple extra D2 guys and kind of get to mix in a D4 line with some higher level players. And
Hmm.
that's a really fun event we play every season as well. We usually get like 3 or 4 of those events a year. And so all that we usually try and do. Up until this season, I could play WCPPL as well in their premier division. So I played that last year for an event. A couple years ago, I played it a little bit more. It's just been hard to get out there.
Hmm.
And now, after winning 2 events again this year and one last year, anybody that didn't play already this season cannot play. So, like Cyrus, he played the first event of WCPPL, so he's allowed to play the rest of the season. But the rest of us, we didn't play it, so he can't go out there anymore. So yeah, the APPA point stuff kind of screws us on being able to play more paintball. But luckily, Fit does have quite a few events that we get to play in, so we still have a lot of fun.
Right. And I understand about the whole APP points, like kind of screws you over for playing other like more paintball events and everything.
Yep.
And personally, to me, that's why I don't like. That's why I just play, just have to play, because I don't like anything holding me back. Like
Yeah.
if I want to go play an event, I'm gonna play an event, and if they don't like it, well, that's tough shit.
Yeah. I love
That's
it.
tough freaking shit.
Yes, indeed.
But because I've been wanting to go to PB Fit to play Global. Um, I've seen so many review like videos of it. I'm like, oh, I want to try that out.
Yes, you
That
got to come
was
out. Let us know. Let us know. Message me or one of the other guys. Let us know when you're going to come out. We'll get you on a good team and try and get you a dub out here.
oh, I mean, so tell me the Global. Do you have to use your? Can you use your own mech and electron
Yeah.
markers? Okay, I
Yep.
was about to say, I'm like, are they like? Because like I said, I know a lot of people who did Global. You had to use like mechanical markers, like
Yeah.
they were
Yep.
strictly mechanical. But I know I've seen a lot of people using electronic markers. I think is like you could set it on like what 5.5 or
Yeah, it
something
was
like that.
5.5 or 6, somewhere around there. It's like somewhere between 5 and 6 usually that they have a limit. I think in
Hmm.
the 7 man you can go up to like 7 balls per second, but
Okay.
if you're going to use an electronic, we typically think it's kind of a disadvantage because you see some of those players shooting mech. They know how to shoot really, really fast with their mech guns. So we often recommend you use a mech, but yeah, you can use an electronic as long as you turn down the balls per second.
Okay. I was just making sure because like they don't these videos I watch, they don't explain the rules, and I'm like, there's
Yep.
no way in hell that son of a bitch is using an electronic marker is shooting 15 balls a second. There's no way in hell. He
Yeah.
has to be using his regular CS3.
Right.
But so a couple of questions I got from some people, and most of my get them is from newbies. And one of the questions is this: what is the biggest pet peeve in your eyes in paintball history? Like, what is the biggest pet peeve?
Hmm. I think one of the things that is a biggest pet peeve in paintball is someone that didn't actually get to shoot you extra as you walk off, right? So like I understand bonus balling happens. If you come bunker me, you give me a bunch, good job. You got me. You win. You shoot me out and then as I'm stepping out of the bunker, like you shoot me a couple more, good job. You deserved it. You shot me, right? Like it's all fair. It's the
Mm-hmm.
person like I'm playing snake side and say I see someone walking off Dorito side and he's like kind of just standing around, the guy that just then shoots you because he can, not because he actually shot you. I think that's my biggest pet peeve. I'm like, you don't even know what's happening. You're just shooting me just to be a jerk, dude. Like, get out of here. Go
Right,
somewhere. But if you make a good move and you shoot me and you give me extra, like, all right, fair enough. Like, I'm not happy about it, but you earned it. Like, you got that one. So for me, it's that person that had no effect in the game, but he's just shooting people extra just to do it. Just
right.
doesn't even matter. He's like, I don't know what's happening. I'm just gonna shoot you 20 times real quick. It's like you didn't even get me. Get out of here.
Yeah, I understand about the whole that is a big one of the biggest pet peeve, and a lot of people say, okay, another one to me is overshooting. Like, I understand if you overshoot someone, but this is a drilling sport. Sometimes we get caught up.
Yes,
Like,
totally.
I even got like shot 3 times yesterday, and it's like a straight line. I'm like, I'm looking at my back. I'm like, holy shit, I got a straight line on my back, and I'm like, I didn't care for that. I was because, and I was already out, and he, kept on shooting me. I'm like, hey, it's okay. I'm like, I'm not gonna get mad, but I understand people who get really upset about overshooting and be like,
Right.
you know, wanted to make a drama out of it. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you're on the field. We're shooting at you. Sometimes we get carried away.
Right.
But
Where you're already shooting a gap and someone has to walk through it when they're walking off the field. Things happen.
learn how to
Part of the
jump.
game.
Learn how to jump.
Yeah, yeah. Do the J Rab, the jump across the gap.
Yeah, it's like just learn how to jump. It's that simple. Um, so another of the questions I got from the fans, who emailed me was like, what are your intakes of the CS3 Pro?
Yeah. So I really enjoyed shooting it. I thought it shot super consistent and straight. I think it is similar to a CS3. It's not exactly the same, but it's definitely very similar. Has a little bit different feel. I've let a couple different people shoot it. One guy said he thought it felt a little bit more like it popped a little bit better, which he liked. Another guy said it was more stable. I definitely think it's just a really well balanced gun. Um, if you're going and like trying to buy it because you think it's going to shoot way better or way different than a CS3, don't. But if you like the different bells and whistles or the different adjustments they made, um, like just a smoother body so it looks a little bit more clean or basic, which I'm a fan of. The back cap's got a little grooved where you can take it in and out a little bit easier versus the smooth back cap that's kind of hard to pull on. Lots of little changes like that. The eye covers are underneath the grip now. So that kind of makes it a little bit safer as well. Just all those small things, I think, definitely improved the gun. And I really love the way it shot. It was super consistent. It's been great for me in practices. At the event, it was great. Shot great in the water, and all the rain and all the craziness. No sand caused me any issues. It's been awesome so far. Super awesome gun. Super grateful for PE letting us try that out and kind of showcase it for them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely have no complaints about the CS3 Pro at all. It's been awesome.
Okay, there you go, y'all. Like, you got verification from him that if you want a CS3 Pro, spend the $18,000, $1,800. I
Right.
ain't doing it. I already got all the custom stuff on there. I already got the nano barrel before they came out with the pro and
Yep.
the deuce trigger. So I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, I have all the things I wanted from the new one
Like I
already
just
on my
spent,
old one. I don't need it.
yeah, exactly. I just spent like 100, I think what, $130. And I'm like, yeah, I'd rather spend $130 than buying a brand new gun that I'm
Yeah,
not gonna.
yeah. 130 or 1800. You know, which one's worse? Which one's
And
worse?
it's the gun. It's my gun personally because it's the gun that I've been. It's my color scheme, black and blue.
Oh,
And
yes.
they stopped doing that. The whole translution of the blue, like the black and blue and everything. And
Mhm.
I was very, I was very upset about that because black and blue is always looking good. I don't know what it is. It just always looks good.
Yes, I'm a big blue fan too, so I feel you there.
Um, so on this part of the show, if you got any questions that you would like to ask me, put me on the hot seat. Go right ahead. I'm an open book.
Yeah, why don't you tell me about how you got started in paintball? What's your story of kind of how you got hooked?
Birthday party, and my sister, the guy she was dating, she eh, he was not a good character, to be exact,
Okay.
but I gotta give him credit where credit's due. It was my birthday, and he said, "Why don't you, hey Emily, why don't you bring your little brother go play paintball at Paintball Command here in Louisiana?" And I'm like, "All right, might as well. Never try it out." And this was when I was in high school, so I think I was like maybe 14, 15 years old. I can't remember. I was around that age. Um, Xiaomi GS or Ember GS because back then it was not bought by Empire yet.
Right, right.
But and ever since then I got hooked onto it, and I've been playing for since I was around like 2012 or 2011. So
Awesome.
and now it grew and grew into now this podcast.
Heck yeah. So did it start with competitive paintball or what kind of paintball were you playing when you first started?
I was playing Wolves ball most of the time. And then I got into competitive paintball. Um, Me and a bunch of guys, we were just um, playing around like local tournaments. Then we started going to like different places, um, and just see what it's all about. But then we disbanded, and I've been jumping on some teams to team, and then COVID happened, so that
Yeah.
kind of you know put me out for a bit, and we then when COVID came, like starting to really like we can go back on the fields and everything. I've did jump on a couple teams, New Orleans Savages. Let's see, yeah, I host my own team, Aces and Eights. Um, that didn't do well because that was my first time doing it, and you know, it's it's been a journey, and now I'm a freelancer. And I like actually liking it because I got this podcast to fall back on, and I can play different fields. Um, Play a little bit of speedball with my friend, like with my family. Um, Not my actual family because they actually do not want to play paintball. I'm talking about my paintball family,
Right, right, right. We all got that.
especially Drew Bankson from LAX and me. I'm surprised he's not even on here watching it because he's always. You gotta come to LAX. Once your guys come to LAX, you will see how Drew Bankson is. He's like big old teddy bear.
Heck
but
yeah.
boom, and but yeah, ever since then I've just been playing as much as I can and growing the sport, especially in Louisiana because we're not that big into
Right.
paintball that much. I even got this thing.
All
The
right. What's that from?
it's custom made by Trophy Smack. This is the Paintball Lounge Championship belt.
All
Um,
right.
this was supposed to be up for grabs in a 1v1 tournament, but some things went down to where no one was signing up, and so I am. still debating if I should do it, like bring it back and see if someone here in Louisiana will grab this thing or a pro player,
Yeah.
which,
Heck yeah, you got to do it. Got to run that 1v1 tournament for sure.
oh yeah.
That's awesome. I love that reward though, that little belt. I love it. Not little, sorry.
Oh, it's
Sorry, not
heavy.
little. That's a big belt. Look at that thing. I can see it's big even from here. Like it's almost
It's like
wide as the
six
banner there.
pounds. I think it's like a
Oh,
six-pound
okay.
belt. So,
It's legit.
oh,
It's legit.
oh yeah, it's very big. All right, and it's heavy.
It's shining. It's bright. I can't even see anymore. No.
But,
uh,
but yeah, yeah. If you got any more questions, let me know.
yeah. So you were talking about a couple of the first teams, some of those teams you played. You mentioned a New Orleans team. Do you know NO Smoke? They come out here and play some of the
Yes,
XTPL and USXBL events.
I know Smoke. I actually, the funny thing is about Smoke was they were all part of Nola Savages, and
Okay.
due to personal problems with the team, they Nola Savages kind of disband, and then
Okay.
Smoke came around, and I
Gotcha.
yeah, they are a really great team. Very, they work hard, really good. And when I was watching UXBL, and I saw both Louisiana team, LA Extreme, and Smoke being the top two going for first and second, I was like, this is insane. This never happens.
Right.
A Louisiana team.
That's awesome. Showing you guys are really building that the scene out there, right? I mean, showing you guys got some good players. You guys know what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Winning Texas events is hard. Winning any event is hard. But I feel like out here in Texas, the level of play, even on the lower teams, is so much higher than a lot of the other places I played, or a lot of the other teams at least I experienced. Maybe there's just as high of level players in every area, but
Hmm.
the places I had been, or like the players I had been around at those lower divisions, are not nearly as good as the teams out here at those lower divisions. I'm always impressed at how good even like teams like the Hydra kids and those kids have gotten so good so fast. All the different D4 teams and D5 teams out here are just the level of play. Maybe it's just paintball has gotten that much better, right? But the level of play of those low divisions is just insane, man. So shout out to both LAX and to or LA Extreme, that team, not the field, but the team in this case, and then also NO Smoke for making it so far in that event and finishing top two. I think it was in D4. Is that right?
Yes, it was
D4,
D4.
which is awesome, man. That's so great.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I was just it's just shocking that how the South area, I'm going to say the South paintball, has been, you know, we've like we were always getting looked down because like, oh, it's the South, like, they don't have that much feels. They like we're always getting looked down. I mean, yeah, you got
Mhm.
Tampa Bay Damage, but and you guys said San Antonio X Factor and Houston Heat and y'all, but it's like we are always getting looked down upon on. And
Mhm.
but when they see us, like, underestimate us, it's like, don't do that. Like, we may be living in the
Make
South,
them
we
pay.
may be in Texas, we may be in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, all these states that are not up north, and we don't have a lot of big fields or stuff like that. But hey, don't underestimate us because you will be surprised.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So, what about your biggest moment in paintball? What was your biggest moment for you? Actually, hold up. Let me make a slight adjustment to the question. I want two. I want your biggest moment playing, and then I want the biggest moment you've watched, whether it's a couple years ago, this year, 5, 10 years ago, before you started playing, whatever. Biggest moment you've done yourself, or like your team that you've been part of, and then also the biggest moment you've seen as a spectator.
I think the biggest moment as a spectator was when we did the beta tournament. And like, I I think that it was the biggest accomplishment for me because of the fact that it was my first time running a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And the feeling of like how watching the matches and watch everything, we did have some problems, I'm not gonna lie. We did have some problems of like scheduling, like who's going up and who's not.
Right.
But when all of it turned out, and you know, and we were just watching matches and matches and matches, I was just so relieved. Like,
Hmm.
this is a story that I will always forever um be like, it will never go away. When it was all over, my girlfriend my girlfriend who I'm with now, who I've been with for 5 years, she's been with this knucklehead for 5 years. And she's the one that started. Like, here's the thing, she's the reason why I got into podcasting. She told me, go do it, just go do it. And so shout out to you, babe. um After the beta tournament, we went to Hooters, and she gave me a drink. Like, I'm not a drinker, but
Mhm.
she gives me like a 2 shot of Jack and Coke, and she's like, "You can rest." I'm like, and I took the drink, and I'm like, I did it. I fucking did it. I run my own tournament, and no one got
Yes,
hurt, and it's like the greatest moment. Like, this is like fucking amazing. I'm
that's so
not even
awesome.
drunk. I was
Love
like
it.
tearing up and everything. Um,
Yes.
my I have to say my greatest moment of being a player has to be with when I was playing for Nola Savages at the King of South tournament and Gorilla, and we came in second place. Um, because even though, yeah, we came in second place, but the thing is, this is that it was. I think it was a more greatest moment because I was coming back with an injury, because I messed up my knee back in 2016, yeah, 2016, 2015. We were the team I was with, we were going to try to do World Cup, and I fucked up my knee. So being back in a professional, not professional, but like an actual 3-man tournament, I'm not gonna lie, I was very scared that my knee was gonna go out.
Right.
But when we got second place, that had to be a great moment, because I did with guys that I respect and good friends of mine. And you know, here comes a guy who I haven't been playing for so long and competitively, and I'm coming second place. It's a good feeling.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. Those are good
So
moments.
one moment I'm gonna hopefully achieve for is that, you know we get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube for one.
Yes.
But I think all my greatest moments are actually doing this, like being a podcaster, like getting interviews like you and Nick Soviak, Tyler Hartman. I think those are all great moments in my book, because I get to do what I like to do, and that's talk about paintball and like show this to people who are just getting into the sport and
Yes.
don't know these people, like do not know y'all, or like how this game is played. And I even got kids. I don't have actual kids, but I got like little kids. When I go on the field, they recognize me and they're like, "Hey, you're the paintball lounge." Like, and they ask me questions, and I love it. They ask me
Yes.
questions like, what kind of mask I should get, how should I hold my gun, or all these basic knowledge. And I'm like, I'm loving this. I'm just loving this. I'm on cloud nine.
Yes. That's awesome. Heck yeah. Gotta love helping the next generation get into it too, right? Just helping all the new players, whether they're old or young. Really, I
Oh
love
yeah.
doing that as well. I remember when I first started playing in California, we would play our practice, right? And then there'd still be a lot of the day left. Back then I didn't shoot very much paint in a single practice. So you'd get your case or maybe 2 cases and you'd shoot your paint. And then that practice would be over, but I'd still have a little bit extra being an aggressive player, right? I don't shoot nearly as much. I'd go
Mm-hmm.
and play rec ball the rest of the day and get to just help people kind of push other guys up and let them have their first experience of shooting some people and really knowing that they shot them, right? Because I feel like so many people, their first time playing paintball, they're like, yeah, I think I got a couple guys, but they're just in the back, and they're like hoping for the best. I'm like, well, I saw someone walk out. So I think I got that guy. Like, I think I got him. So I love to be out there and like help. I'll start shooting, and someone will be like, "Okay, I need you to go up there to that tree on the left over there," and watching that guy get up there and be like, "All right, give me a second. In 1 second, he's gonna pop up. You got to shoot him for me." He's like, I got him, dude." It's like, okay, yes, like helping people get those first kills or that first like real experience of what paintball's like. That's some of my best moments too. Like those are such good moments. It's hard to like go back and say there's something even better than that. Like helping someone else love the sport that you already are so into is just next level for sure.
Oh yeah, and especially this. So if you ever watch my short videos or watch me play rec ball, I have this. I don't know why I did this, so I might as well come out with this. There's a song. There's a little me saying this, Pikachu. All right,
Okay.
I and a couple of my friends who are tall, who does photography and everything. He's like, the Pikachu is a mating call. I'm like, no, not really. It's not a mating call. It's more like, I'm trying to get someone to pop up, and it just came out. And I was playing, I was playing Paintball Command. We were just playing. I think it was like Tack and Defend, or I can't remember. It was search or something like that. And next to me said like, I didn't get this on video because my camera was overheating. But I said Pikachu, and he looked at me. He's like, "Hey, you're the Pikachu guy." I'm like, might as well just get the Pikachu jersey. Make a Pikachu
Yeah.
jersey.
I gotta embrace it now. That's
Like,
funny.
oh yeah, and I love those moments. Like I said, I love seeing people like play paintball. And I know a lot of people who are like they're scared. They're scared to play because like, oh, it's gonna hurt. I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna hurt me, but it's gonna sting for a couple of like maybe a minute or so. I mean,
Yep.
unless you're like me and you get bruised easily, but I don't complain. I just take some Advil, like a leave, and I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, when I explain it to people how it feels, I tell them it's like someone pinched you really hard. It's gonna hurt in that moment. Then right after that, like it kind of goes away really fast. But in the moment, someone definitely just like grabbed you and pinched you really, really hard. It's like, oh, what was that? That hurt. Then a minute or so, you're back to normal. It's about let's go play the next one. So
Yeah, and it's um. So I want you. There is one question I forgot to ask you, and
okay.
I kind of want your opinion about this. So, what do you think about the new policy of the whole thing that was going down with the whole Dan, Beliski, whatever his name is?
Hmm.
What is your intake on that and the move that they made with Marcelo?
So I mean, I think there was definitely a little bit of an overreaction on the community's part about trying to jump on Marcelo. I think the original video he didn't do anything wrong, right? I mean, he was just kind of taking a video of like all these masks, is what my understanding was. I didn't go back and watch the video myself. I haven't even watched any interviews with Dan. I don't want to give the extra attention there that I don't want to give. I
Right,
don't think it's deserved, right? So I'm not giving any attention to it. Um, but also at the same time, like I don't think we should be promoting hate or promoting someone that's
right,
against a single group of any sort of genocide or anything like that is totally terrible. So I definitely don't support the situation, but I think there's always a little bit of overreaction. I mean, I think as humans, we're it's normal for us to overreact to things, right? Like sometimes you get extra upset when you get shot for a second, and then you go, okay, yeah, it's paintball. That's right. I'm supposed to get shot. Like
right,
everyone's gonna have that instant knee jerk reaction. It's a bummer to see that that caused him to then lose out on the team he was playing with and all that. But I think there's a lot more going behind the scenes that we're kind of unaware of as well,
hmm
that could have possibly contributed to that. And I think good luck to Marcelo on his new team. I think the way that he kind of handled it after everyone was freaking out is kind of what caused everything else after that.
right.
Uh, but really it just comes down to the simple fact of like I'm definitely not going to support what Dan was talking about and the things that he said, and I'd prefer not to give any extra attention to
Oh
Dan or
yeah,
that whole situation that I don't have to, so
yeah. I
like I said, I'm not
understand.
even going to watch the interviews he's doing because I feel like everyone's at that point almost trying to become viral by using Dan's name, right? They're like, oh, now everyone's paying attention to Dan, like let me get him on my podcast so I can get this viral moment of him talking about anything. but I don't
That
even
is
want to give
what
him that attention.
everybody's been telling me. Like, say, hey, you should get Dan. And like, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna get on Dan. Like, because what is there something to talk about him? I mean, he- there's nothing really to talk about with him or anything. I bring up the subject about that because it does change, um, a little bit of the
Right.
sport. It does change a little bit of the sport because now the refs are going to be like, and or not the refs, the everybody's going to be a little bit more strict on certain things, and which is also it could be like could the I just hope that they don't overuse it because there's
Right.
some like you said we do overreact, and maybe there will be some things that are not quite like people will get offended of because I have a lot of people that were offended um of my old logo, which was the blue dragon,
Okay.
and a lot of people thought that I was a dynasty guy. I'm like, no, I'm not a dynasty guy. Like I respect the dynasty. Shout out to Coach.
Right.
Um, but I got it was like y'all were overreacting. So I changed it to the
Mhm.
forward lead, and then I changed it to was now still the forward lead, but it has to stay behind it.
Yep.
So, but no, I'm not. I understand completely. And I respect your decision. I do the same thing. Like I will not put Dan on my show, not because of his beliefs or anything like that. I think he's a great player. I think his ideas are for trying to grow in the sport and everything because I've seen the shows and everything.
Hmm.
Really nice ideas. I'm not gonna lie. A reality paintball show or like a UFC style paintball,
Hmm.
people will like that. But I'm not gonna be on him be on here because I know it's gonna cause drama.
Yeah.
Even watching Paintball Nerd, I saw all the comments and I'm like, y'all are fucking ridiculous. Like seriously, we're trying to like watch a show and y'all are just saying this shit. Like, come on,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
grow
it's a little
up.
getting a little crazy with that. I'm just trying to stay away from it altogether. I don't want to associate myself with that at all. Certainly.
Right.
So
Hey, at least now you know there's a safe haven.
yeah.
But I
uh,
think we have. I think that's it, man. I think we hit our time. Um, I appreciate you coming on the show, man, and giving us, your backstory about your journey. And I think, you and PB Fit are doing great. Keep on grinding. See if we can get y'all to 4 in a row.
yes, indeed.
And if y'all do get 4 in a row, like do the 4 horsemen like this.
All right.
Get like four
Gotcha.
horsemen because that would be freaking tight.
Heck yeah.
So I'll see you around, my friend, and I hope you have a good day. Happy Memorial Day.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on. Shout out Paintball Fit.
All right, y'all. That was Scott from PB Fit, and you know what a great guy. What a great show. You know, we're gonna end the show with a couple of things to say about it. You know, going behind the marker that we do here on the Paintball Lounge and telling the story and getting the story. That's what this is all about, and that's what every paintball podcast should be about. And that's what people need to understand. We want the story of how it all started because it's not how the accomplishment, but the story that goes behind and in the making of it. So I want y'all to understand this that, you know, it doesn't matter how much, the wins you make, but the memories and the story that you form with your friends and your family and the guys you travel with, that matters more than any winning streak. So I just hope that everybody have a safe Memorial Day, and thank you to everyone for supporting this podcast, for making paintball the Paintball Lounge, you know, the podcast of Louisiana for Louisiana paintball. You know, and I say it like that because of the fact of this. You know, we want people to play more paintball in Louisiana. And when you go on the field, pay your admission, pay the paint, get a rental gun, and just go out there and have fun. And that's what paintball is all about. Is having fun with your friends, with your family, and just making memories. So I'll see y'all in the next episode of the Paintball Lounge. And I hope y'all have a great Memorial Day and just keep on grinding and grind for greatness.